All right, so I'm back, and I said I was gonna make a one-off video, but I decided to make it part two. So this is a story about the haters who are obsessed on taking down Anthony Caimano for no apparent reason whatsoever. Let me start with Amy Crabtree. So I used to be friends with Amy before I knew what she was. And just like all of you who just listen without knowledge, I believe the stuff that Amy told me. I believe the stuff about taking down the bad people in the horror community. And one of those people she started focusing on at one point was Anthony Caimano. And just like all her followers back then, and seemed to be the same way now, her friends didn't question her, didn't ask for proof or anything. Just if Amy said so, it was so. So, you know, I got on board foolishly, and me and a few people made it our mission to take the haters of the underworld of indie horror and I just started noticing how obsessed Amy was, and I myself started wondering why. And Amy really couldn't tell me except for the fact that she really dug this guy at one point, and she thought that they had a thing. And I think I finally started realizing this isn't about taking down the bad people in the community. This is about taking down the person that she was obsessed with. So, I started changing my tune, and I went on a show with Anthony and Mandy called The Toxic Horror Show, and uh, I proceeded to apologize to them, and Anthony was gracious enough to let me on, and Mandy was upset with me, as she should have been, because I was after her guy at that point. And then everything seemed to really click at that point because I knew Anthony and Mandy were seeing each other at that point. But then it's just like maybe that's why Amy is so obsessed about taking Anthony down, because some other woman has him now. So yes, I did a whole apology video on people uh, that I called out, and a few people did forgive me. Anthony being one of them, obviously, and slowly Mandy came around and accepted my apology. And there was other people who actually messaged me saying that some of the other people that I was calling out, besides Anthony at that point, that I was right about those guys. One of them was being Sean C. Phillips. There was a message I got from an associate of Sean who thanked me for calling him out because he found out later on that I was right about Sean. But back to Amy. Well, during the Toxic Horror show, I called out Amy because I was upset how she played my mind, and I took responsibility. You know, I could have found out more about Anthony. I could have found out uh, the source I was listening to in Amy. But I called her out because, she was doing this not just to me, but to other people. And I think we were foolish enough to listen to it, but because we didn't have any proof. We just took Amy's word for it. Just like people are doing now. But as far as Amy goes, you guys ever see Fatal Attraction? With Michael Douglas and Glenn Close. They had affair, or with Michael Douglas, like a one night thing, and he regretted it when he found out what kind of person it is. And yes, it was wrong on Michael Douglas to do the affair because he was married. But the moral of the story is the aftermath. What Michael Douglas had to endure because of this obsessed woman. Maybe Glenn Close or someone who looks more like Crabtree could do a part 2 to Fatal Attraction, because this is what it is. This is a fatal attraction because of some sexting that went on. She became obsessed with Anthony, so much to the point that 4 years plus later, she's still trying to destroy him. Four plus years. If that's not a fatal attraction, I don't know what is. She's still claiming that after 4 years, it's Anthony who is harassing her. But of course, these followers, oh my God, he's still after you 4 years later. You followers remind me of me. Just listening and agreeing with Amy. Have any of you ever asked for proof? Can any of you see past your own stupidity? Harassing her, it's the reverse. She goes out of her way to tell everything about everything. Lies. That's what she tells, is lies. That's all she knows, is how to lie. And she got you all hooked. She's convincing, I know that. But finally I was able to see past her lies and see for what she really was. A psychotic bitch. So she had sexting. Shit, most people have done that. But most people don't obsess about it 4 years plus later. I don't know who I should feel more sorry for. The psychotic bitch or the people that follow her. You guys really need to wake up. And these claims about, oh, he takes people's money. You know what? I've had health issues for the last 5+ years. And there's been a few times that Anthony has helped me financially. Does that sound like someone that takes money from people? by him giving it back out. Come on, people. Wake the fuck up. Just recently, I couldn't work anymore. I am legally disabled now. And this man reached out and gave money to me. I didn't ask for it. Does that sound like a scammer? I'm not the only one that finally stopped listening to Amy's lies. There's been other people. One of them became one of my best friends that used to be Amy's best friend. And that's the only thing we'll ever thank Amy for, is for bringing us together as friends. I'm sure if Amy thinks about it hard enough, she'll know who I'm talking about. But I promised my friend I would not mention her name. There's your clue. Her. You guys, I can't believe you just listened to someone without any proof. She says she's had a 4-year restraining order. First of all, you can't, for most restraining orders, you can only get them for weeks. Unless there's been like physical contact. And they don't even live remotely close to each other. You ever question that? She claims for 4 years he's been harassing her. Yet she claims that she's had a restraining order that whole time. Does that make sense? You don't think by now, if she really had a restraining order, that she would be copy and pasting these whole supposed harassments? Come on. You can't be that dumb. All I know, guys, is you need to wake the fuck up and move on. And a lot of that last statement goes out to Amy. Wake up and move the fuck on. Or what are you going to do? Get us a restraining order after me now? Or are you going to get... I'm going to get a cease and desist order. I've gotten plenty of those, and most of them have been fake. This horror community can be so great, and then it can be so stupid with people that just buy into someone's words. And this person tries to reach out and destroy everything that Anthony and Mandy had built up. For what? Over an obsession. That's it. I can see the billboards now. Fatal Attraction 2. Streaming near a theater near you. Because that's all this is. This is revenge because he doesn't sext with her anymore. That's all this is. It's a revenge story. You are easily led automatons, if that's even a real word. I remember hearing it in a movie once. Just wake the fuck up. And Amy, move the fuck on. My last advice to you guys who believe Amy, just ask her for proof. Guarantee she doesn't have any of it because nothing ever happened. My final word on this.